Okay, I am doing this problem number 1 of chapter 7, section 2, using the TI83. That is an older version of the TI84. And I will show you an option to use the table. You see this icon right here. When you click that icon, you will see a table. Yeah, I'll show you this in a moment. Let me mention that for the first question, they say what is the number of degrees of freedom that should be used for finding the critical value t sub alpha by 2. The degrees of freedom is found by taking the sample size, which is n, and subtract 1 from that sample size. So that's how you find the degrees of freedom. In this case, it's 50 minus 1 is 49. To find the critical value corresponding to a 95 confidence level, remember that the confidence level goes right here in the middle. So if we have a 95% in the center of this T distribution, there will be an area of 5% among these two tails. So this is the area you have in both tails. So you have to split that area in two parts, right? So into even parts. So we have 2.5% on this side and 2.5% on this other side. And we need to get this T score. And again, let me show you. When you click on that icon right here, there's a table right here. There's an option for area in one tail and also area in two tails. So we choose the one on the bottom because we have two tails, right? We have two tails right here. This is the area in both tails, so it's 5%. So that's our area right here, 0.05. And we also need the degrees of freedom. Okay, on this part, in this column, you will see degrees of freedom. In this case, degrees of freedom is 49. So there is no 49 if you scroll down right here. Remember, we are on this column of 0.05, two tails, and I need to find 49 on this column. There is no 49, but we have to get closer to the number we have on this column, which is 50 in this case. Okay, that is a good approximation. So it was the column in the middle for the area, and it's the 50 this row, and we find this value right here. This value right here. So that is the critical value. Okay, that is T alpha by 2. Okay, remember we have two tails, and you round it up to the second decimal place, so this 2.009 rounded up to the second decimal place is 2.01. Okay, so that's exactly what we have in this part of the problem, 2.01. Okay, and there is another way to find this value, but it's a little bit more complicated. I'm going to show you just if you want to have fun on that. Is using the calculator, this model doesn't have the inverse t. So we go to math, we we scroll down and find a function on the calculator known as solver. You press enter or 0, wherever you want to press here. And well, let me clear this part. Let me reset the calculator to start over. I'm sorry. Okay, so we go to math, press 0, or scroll down all the way down here. A faster way to do this is just pressing 0. Okay, just solver. Then we go to second, bars, and we select TCDF. Make sure you select TCDF. Don't press PDF, which is number 5. And then for the lower limit, we select negative 10,000. I mean, I always select negative 10,000. You might choose any other extreme negative value, comma. My upper value will be the x. That's the value we are finding. Okay, comma, the degrees of freedom, which is 49. We close the parentheses, and now on this part we need to subtract the area on the left of this critical value. How much area on the left do we have here? Well, if I have 2% on the right, I should have look, I have 100% in total, minus 2.5%. So that'll be 97.5%. So in decimal numbers will be 0.975. Okay. So again, if I have this area on the right, on the left I have the remaining 97.5. So the sum of this number and this number. Correct. Let's keep working on that. So that is 0.975, and we press enter. Okay. We're almost there. We need to press alpha solve. Okay, that you see that the color of this word says that says solve is the same as alpha. So we press alpha, enter, and that calculator will find that value of x that we name as our variable. Okay, that is actually this value. It will take some time because this calculator is a little bit slower than the TI83, but you will get it. Okay, and that's our critical value, 2.0095. It says right here round to two decimal places, and that is 2.01. Okay, this 09 goes up to 10, so 2.01. And that's how you do this problem. I know this method is a little bit more complicated than using the table, but as I said before, you want to have fun with the calculator, you might try this way.